In the headlines, Malami Ngige make U-turn, withdraw decision to contest in 2023 elections. Tinubu's campaigner, Jibrin, Kano Deputy Speaker, others join NNPP as Governor Ganduje visits Shekarau. Fuel scarcity persists in Abuja despite NNPC's promise. And on the foreign scene, Ukrainian forces destroy Moscow armored tanks. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Now the news in detail. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, has withdrawn from the race to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023. He announced his withdrawal from the contest in a statement on Friday in Abuja, following a valedictory session held at the council chamber of the presidential villa in the nation's capital in honor of ministers seeking elective offices in the 2023 general elections. He had declared his intention to run for president in the forthcoming polls while addressing a crowd of supporters on April 19th at his hometown in Idemili South local government area of Anambra State. He explained that dropping his presidential ambition was to concentrate on his ministerial job and assist the present administration, especially in what he describes as a difficult last lap. He stated that he has since communicated his decision to President Buhari and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. Similarly, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has pulled out of the race to succeed Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State. After months of speculations, the minister joined the race last month, appealing to the people for support. But on Friday night, sources close to the minister, who was among those present, President Muhammadu Buhari bade farewell at Aso Rock earlier in the day, said he had opted out of the race. No official reason was given as at press time. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari says outgoing members of the Federal Executive Council who have resigned to pursue political ambitions will be replaced without delay. The president met with the departing ministers at the State House, Abuja, at a special valedictory session on Thursday. The president expressed confidence that the leaving cabinet members had been sufficiently equipped to aspire to higher elective offices, including the office of the president. Kende Amadou reports.
It's a bittersweet experience for those departing cabinet members who are leaving the comfort zone to test the harsh waters in the political field. Not all these persons will secure the elective positions they are pursuing, but President Buhari's memo on Thursday has forced them to take a decision. For the president, the former ministers had served the nation sacrificially, but it's time to look beyond them because the business of government must not stop.
For members of the cabinet that are remaining on board, I wish to remind you that the journey to the finish line is very far, and this calls for more diligence, resilience, and commitment to serve Nigerians better.
The ministers all have reasons for aspiring to elective office.
The decision is that I've made up my mind to contest for the governorship of my state, that is Abia State, and I've graciously sought for the president's blessing, and I've been blessed this morning.
I have no reason to say I will come out to contest because already I have a female serving senator, which I was very ready to support, but she has been threatened and intimidated, and that has forced her to back up. And when she backed up, women put pressure. They bought the form for me. I've not put one dime to purchase any form.
It's an opportunity for us to go out there and tell the story of President Buhari and what they have been striving to do. There's something Nigerians must have observed about him, and which we, who have had the privilege of serving with him in the Federal Executive Council, did. It works almost like a computer. If it tells you 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock is 9 o'clock.
A cursory look reveals that 10 ministers have already left the cabinet. But there may be more if the president's words are anything to go by. While he commends those that have complied with his directive, he notes that others are in the process of doing so. From State House, Abuja, Kende Amadou, Trust TV News.
Meanwhile, aspirants that have completed their nomination and expression of interest forms have besieged the International Conference Center in Abuja to return the documents. This comes a few hours to the screening exercise, which is set to commence over the weekend. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu takes a look at the last-minute rush by the aspirants.
Members of the All Progressives Congress aspiring to contest various political seats across the country are returning their forms. They represent different groups, for instance, the women and youth, who are grateful to the party for the opportunity to contest. The next step is a screening, which they hope to surpass on their way to becoming candidates after conduct of the party primaries.
I think you can see everything is winding down very quietly, very peacefully. This entire submission process has gone hitch-free. We started as expected, and it was extended a couple of days because of the Eid celebration, the Muslim celebration, which we're all aware of. So as to not, cut down on the time and disenfranchise anyone, it was extended by a couple of days. And I think everyone appreciates that everyone has fully had the time to submit.
We're actually very prepared as women. We have a number of us. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to APC for even giving us women the privilege, because we've been given a lot of privileges. When we are talking about the environment and being that so far it's been a men's world, yes, it looks toxic a bit, but as a party, APC, they've made it very easy for we women.
The idea of bringing the youth and giving more idea to society. Me going out for the House of Rep is a thing of the youth. And I also clamor all the youth in Oro Nation to indulge in this work that we are going, so that we can build Oro Nation to a better place that the youth can also stand up for their rights.
So what happens to the funds that have accrued from the sale of forms, since some aspirants will definitely get screened out of the exercise?
Everybody who's an aspirant is a part of a bigger team, which is the APC. So we wish the team well. I mean, on several occasions, people have gone into contests and, they've paid monies and they didn't emerge, and they're still in the party because they will still get future opportunities to contest and maybe hopefully win one day. The money is for the party. It's financial funds for the party. We're going into an election year. Of course, an election year is pretty expensive, so we're going to be spending the funds campaigning for whoever becomes the winner or the flag bearer of the party. That's what the funds are for.
Nigeria's electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, has warned that it will not extend the deadline set for political parties' primary elections. This is why political parties are wrapping up their activities in preparation for the party primaries. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And still talking politics, the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC in Kano State, was besieged by defections on Friday. Member representing Kano Kibia Federal Constituency and former Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Al-Hassan Room, and Director General Bola Tinubu Support Group's management, Abdulmumin Jibril, both moved to the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. Also crossing over to the NNPP is the former Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Nura Dankade. The defecting politicians and their supporters converged on the Miller Road residence of NNPP chieftain and former governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso to show allegiance. The former speaker, aspiring to contest governorship election, resigned from the ruling APC when Governor Abdullahi Ganduje endorsed his deputy Nasir Gawuna to contest the election. Dankade resigned from the cabinet to contest for Tudunwada Dogwa Federal Constituency, currently occupied by Majority Leader Ado Dogwa. Meanwhile, Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje on Friday visited the home of Senator representing Kano Central, Ibrahim Shekarau, in what seems like a move to stop the latter's planned defection to NNPP. APC is recently losing key members to the NNPP in what most of them describe as unresolved issues within the party. Senator Shekarau, the Kano APC factional leader, was said to have planned to formally announce his defection on Saturday. If it becomes a reality, it could be the final straw in the preparation for the NNPP to clinch victory in 2023. In the meantime, the presidency has stepped into the ongoing crisis in the Kano chapter of the All Progressive Congress between Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje and Senator Ibrahim Shekarau.
An turo Ganduje ba za mu wallahi mun
The National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Munguno, retired, has expressed worry over what he termed growing uncertainty over party primaries ahead of the 2023 general elections. The NSA noted the development has already culminated in intense power play capable of heightening unnecessary political tension across the country. Munguno, who spoke at the quarterly meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security at the INEC headquarters in Abuja, said heads of security agencies have been mandated to monitor and profile political actors who are bent on subverting the electoral process. The National Security Advisor was represented by Sanusi Galadima. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu enjoined security agencies to expedite actions on grading the security threat before the general elections.
The NSA has noted with utmost concern the growing uncertainty heralding the conduct of party primaries for 2023 elections. This is in addition to the unabated spate of violence that threatens the upcoming up-cycle gubernatorial elections in Ekiti and Osun states. More worrisome is the unguarded utterances of some highly respected individuals and groups, which more often than not amplifies divisive narratives to the detriment of national security and stability. Accordingly, heads of security and law enforcement agencies have been tasked to step up close monitoring and profiling of political actors, no matter how highly placed, who exhibit tendencies that subvert the electoral process, even as talks and other sponsors will equally be trailed for possible arrest and prosecution.
The general security situation in the country and its impact on the electoral process is a source of concern to the Commission. However, we are confident that with 9 months to the 2023 general election, there is enough time to respond to the security challenges and secure the nation for elections to take place nationwide. The timetable for the election has been released. Let us not wait until a few weeks to the election before we realize that time is not on our side and begin to seek for extension of timelines.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come, after the break, road users decry accidents due to dilapidation. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's take a look at our top stories. Malami Ngige make a U-turn, withdraw decision to contest in 2023 elections. And Tinubu's campaigner, Jibril, Kano State Deputy Speaker, others join NNPP as Governor Ganduje visits Shekarau. Now moving on to other news. President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday condemned the killing of Ms. Deborah Samuel in Sokoto State. Samuel, a second-year student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, was killed on Thursday following an allegation that she had blasphemed Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam. In a statement by his media aide, Garba Shehu, President Buhari said the news of the killing of the young lady by fellow students was a matter of concern. He therefore demanded an impartial, extensive probe into what happened before and during the incident. The president stated that Muslims all over the world demand respect for holy prophets, including Jesus Christ and Muhammad. He, however, explained that where there were transgressions, as alleged to be the case in this instance, the law does not allow anyone to take matters into their own hands. Similarly, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has condemned the killing of Deborah Samuel, noting that there are processes to address wrongs. Speaking in Abuja on Friday, Osinbajo said he was deeply distressed by what happened in Sokoto State. He described the incident as deeply distressing and disturbing, regretted why the mob took the laws into their hands. He commended the swift reaction of the Sokoto State government, and also the Sultan of Sokoto is highly commendable, and called for calm from all parties involved.
The President has reacted to that statement which was issued earlier, condemning the action, but I must say that it's a deeply distressing thing, very disturbing that such an atrocious killing of a young lady by mob, who took the law into their own hands. I think it's very unfortunate indeed, but I'm very happy that about the very swift reaction of the Sokoto State government and also the Sultan of Sokoto. I think their swift reaction to the situation clearly demonstrated the outrage of millions of Nigerians, and also demonstrated the desire of everyone to ensure that the perpetrators are quickly apprehended and prosecuted. As the President said, there's really no excuse for anyone to take the law into their own hands, no matter the provocation. There are set processes for ensuring that we are able to redress whatever wrongs that are done against us. But lastly, I think we must express our condolence to the family of the young lady, Deborah Samuel. I can't imagine how her parents and her siblings and members of her family feel, not just about her death, but the very horrendous nature of its occurrence. I think it's very sad indeed, and we express our sincere condolence to them. Our hearts are with them, and we ask that the Almighty God will comfort them at this time. Yeah.
The Kano Road was constructed for over a century ago. Since then, it has never been rehabilitated in spite of its dilapidated nature. Motorists plying the road had their hopes raised upon commencement of rehabilitation and dualization of about 200-kilometer road sometime in 2014. The contract, which was awarded with work starting from the Kano end of the road, is being supervised by the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. Abdullahi Amadi takes a look at the current state of the road project and now reports.
The Katsina to Kano Road is one of the major federal roads linking Katsina with the rest of the country. This makes it an important contributor to the socio-economic development of not just the two states, but northern Nigeria as a whole. Beyond Nigeria, this road is one of the major routes to other African countries such as Niger, Algeria, Libya, Mali, and Mauritania, among others. From Tsanyawa in Kano State to Katsina, the proposed terminal point of the road, the construction firm has done little or nothing so far to complete the project. The road is very bad. See, I have a flat tire due to potholes. It is really pathetic. We will be happy if this road is completed, but unfortunately it has been abandoned. The construction firm is alleged to have abandoned the road for months now, as work has totally come to a standstill with staff out of sight at both ends of the road. Accidents along this road are daily occurrences, as several lives and property worth hundreds of millions of naira are lost to crashes. I don't know why the road project was abandoned. Some people say the construction firm had a disagreement with the government over compensation. Whatever it is, we are appealing to the federal government to come to our aid and complete the project before the expiration of the tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023. Road users are questioning the capacity of the contractor to deliver on the job following what they term sudden disappearance of workers, a situation they said has compounded their woes on the road.
But yet the road is not complete. There are some places which they start working and they even carry even their equipment. We don't know where they relocate again.
During its public outcry on the state of the road recently, the Kazna Elders Forum threatened to report the matter to President Muhammadu Buhari if nothing is done by the construction company.
We are awaiting the minister's response because I'm sure he must have received our message. If we are giving him time, if by, say, next month we don't hear anything from him, then we'll go back to Mr. President and report him because he's supposed to finish this job. The money is there. I don't know why Kano Road, Mr. President's state, and the minister is joking with the construction.
Observers say if by the end of the tenure of the Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government, the Katsina-Kano road is not completed, Katsina people will be left with no option than to feel abandoned and marginalized. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And despite the promise by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation NNPC on Tuesday to supply 300 trucks of petrol to Abuja to eliminate long queues in gas stations, queues persist in the Federal Capital Territory. On Friday, as filling stations struggle to control desperate drivers waiting to buy the product at the official price. Racketeers have taken advantage of the situation to sell a litre at more than 300 naira in different parts of the FCT. Dia Umar went round to the city centre and some suburbs of the FCT and now reports.
The queue for fuel in the Federal Capital Territory is far from being over as a result of what was seen today going around Abuja. And that is because you're seeing this place, a lot of cars queuing for long hours. According to some motorists who have spoken to us, they've spent hours here. And that's the reason that there's fuel in this filling station. Some of the filling stations we've been to today do not have a single drop of fuel. Some of them refuse to talk to us on cameras. I mean, the supervisors and the managers of the filling station refuse to talk on camera because they feel that, you know, the supply is not forthcoming and they do not understand why. So this filling station is one of the few filling stations in the Federal Capital Territory that has fuel, that is supplying fuel to motorists. And perhaps it could be because of the strategic location to the NNPC. But the situation right now is commuters who have spoken to us have said that they spent hours. Some people have been here since last night and they're just getting to the point where they get to get fuel from the filling station. So this kind of contradicts what the group managing director of the NNPC says, that, you know, he said this on Tuesday that there will be fuel in 48 hours. But from what we've seen so far in the Federal Capital Territory, where some fuel stations do not even have supply of fuel, and those who have supply have lots of motorists waiting on the queue to get fuel for hours, has been the order of the day. But we'll keep tab on what is going on and see if this reduces maybe in the next few hours. Martia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And on the foreign scene, Ukrainian forces on Friday destroyed parts of a Russian armored column as it tried to cross a river in the Donbas region. Ukrainian forces have driven Russia from the second largest Ukrainian city of Kharkiv in their fastest advance since Kremlin troops pulled away from Kiev and the northeast over a month ago to focus their offensive on the Donbas region bordering Russia. The city, which had been under fierce bombardment since, has been quiet for at least 2 weeks, and Reuters journalists have confirmed Ukraine now controls the territory stretching to the Seversky Donetsk River, another 40 kilometers to the east. However, Moscow is still bombarding villages north of Kharkiv. And with that, we wrap up the new Trust TV News update for this hour. Don't forget, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.